and breathe. What's happening, people? Welcome back to the channel. KG here. Match reaction time. Aston Villa 3, Leeds United 3. What a game. What a game. First of all, I just need to say my throat's a little bit dodgy tonight. So if I do any off-key notes, just ignore them. I've got a bit of a sore throat. But listen, we're going to get into the game. What a game today. And I can see from your reactions that you're feeling the same. Katrina, my bloody heart. And it was only half time at that point. Subramana, what a game. Uh, Nathan Wright, I seriously have a heart condition called WPW, and I had to remove myself for a minute. Don't know what that is, but hope you're all right, man. But yeah, listen, we got to get into it. That was a even if you're a neutral, you would love that game. That had absolutely everything in that game. All it was missing was a penalty, and that would have completed the set. But listen, I thought we wasn't going to come away with anything today, and we came away with a much deserved point. I think it was fair in the end. I do. I think it was very. I think Villa probably shaded it in the first half, but I think overall, when you add up the game in total, I thought that each team was probably worth its weight of a point. Listen, as you're coming in, you know the drill. Please smash the like on the video. If you're watching replay, please press the like button as well. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. So yeah, I mean, let's just get into it because there's a lot to go over. I mean, listen, we had the lineups come out, and we had the same team from Newcastle, and you're thinking, Dan James up front against Konza and Mings. Listen, I mean, Mings. We'll talk about Mings in a bit, but Dan James was tremendous in the first half, as always. Dan James gave everything when it came to the press. He gave everything when it came to energy, and he got us 2 goals today. And one of them was very, very brave, very, very brave. Um, but Villa looked good themselves. I thought Coutinho was amazing in the first half. Jacob Ramsey. Listen, we'll get into it. We get the first goal. Mings dispossessed by Rodrigo, who hey, listen, credit where it's due. I thought Rodrigo had a very good game overall. I think more in the first half, but I think Rodrigo was very good today. So credit where it's due for Rodrigo today. Um, Mings gives it away. Rodrigo to Dan James, who then drives it low, and we go at 1-0. And that was after pretty much maybe 8-9 minutes of Villa constant pressure. So that was kind of against the run of play, which is nice for us to do for a change. It's very nice for us to do. So listen, and we took that. James then had another chance, could have been 2-0, but a good save by Martinez. Um, then there was other. There came that little run of play where Harrison plays it through beautiful little balls into each other, pause, and then Dan James hits it off the bar. And what was it, like a minute, 2 minutes later, uh, Matty Cash out to Coutinho. I think Llorente was a little slow in to get into Jacob Ramsey, into Coutinho, in all fairness, but Coutinho puts it home, and it's 1-1. And it was just like a real back and forth game. I was loving it. I gotta say, I was loving it, even as a neutral. Um, I thought it was a really good showing from both teams. Obviously, the defensive side of it wasn't great, but when you're talking about an attack versus attack like that, you got to take that. You don't get a 3-3 with good defending, so you got to take that. Um, and I thought for a while as well, up until that point, around that time, I thought Pascal Strike had Ollie Watkins' number, and Watkins then had to move out. He moved out of his position to go over to the left because I think Strike was just eating everything up in front of Ollie Watkins, and again, it just solidifies what I've said about Pascal being our best defender. I think he just is our best defender overall. Um, and then we get Aston Villa's goal. Listen, Coutinho absolutely murdered Ailing today, and I think he did it a few times. In all fairness, back in the net saying he hated the game tonight, but yeah, Coutinho turned Ailing, and I thought Ailing could have taken one of those tactical yellows there. I thought if he could just get in a quick tackle and just took his leg, I think that would have probably been the best thing. But that's hindsight, of course. But it was a wonderful pass as well. You got to credit that. Absolutely beautiful pass by Coutinho. And a guy who I spoke with, Rich from Five on the preview, Jacob Ramsey tucked it away, and he was excellent as well today, Jacob Ramsey. And he's going to the top. You can see he's just one of those midfielders. He's going to be in that next queue with Bellingham and all those guys. He's got all the tools to make it, and he looks like he's going in a good way under Steven Gerrard. So full credit to Jacob Ramsey. And then we have the 3-2 goal, and it was weird to me. It was a goal what you would normally see in like the 89th minute, where a team's looking to just kill the game off. But instead, it was just the 43rd minute, and we're just open in midfield. Coutinho with another assist, and Ramsey with a beautiful finish again into the top corner. And you're just thinking, "Damn, we are shooting ourselves in the legs here." And that's 3-1, and you think it's bad news. It's bad news. But then we see it. Dan James again, Rodrigo with a deflected cross. Dan James, brave. I mean, super brave in all those bodies. Little guy like that, just getting in there, gets his head on it, gets a knock on the way, and it's 3-2. And we go in at halftime, 3-2. And what could you say then? It literally could have gone either way in the second half. Literally could have done that. Just before it went 3-2, though, there was a good chance for Luca Digne to make it 4-2, but he dragged that wide, but Will missed that one off. Second half, for me, was a little bit more scrappy, but it was still kind of open end to end. Pascal Struijk with a header cleared off the lines by Mings. And then we get the third goal. Another loop cross by Rodrigo. Pascal Struijk in there, just causing havoc, and then Luke Llorente stabs it home. And listen, man, it's pandemonium, man. It was pandemonium. I wasn't expecting us to just get back in it like that. I thought that maybe Villa would probably use their momentum from the first half and go on, but that just shows that the team didn't give up, and we have to give them credit for that, because it hasn't been that way all season, but they didn't give up today. I noted on the 75th minute, Mateus Click, he had a good chance after one of their players just gifted it to our players, and it was like it was another daisy cut, and it wasn't his first of the night. Click was more efficient in the defensive areas. He was very good at getting back, but going forward, man, he was kicking the ball like a 2-year-old, man. It was very, very soft. And then obviously Villa get a red card on 87th minute, and then you think maybe with that 8 minutes added on, we could go forward. But I think our guys were just tired. They were just tired towards the end. So you have to take the point from there. I'm happy with the point. I'll just point that out. Let me know in the comments if you're happy with the point from Villa today, and then we can move on to Everton, who are just looking woeful, absolutely woeful. But we'll see what happens, because we're not that much better, but Everton are looking in back rough shape. There was a bit as well with the Forshaw sub. I didn't really see what was going on, so people in the chat helped me out. Yeah, and D makes a good point here. It was a cracking game and a good point, but you feel if we could have had them with a better quality from the bench. I agree. Mr. P, as I said pre-match, this was a must not lose game. I will accept a point. Wanted 3 points as always, yeah. But what was happening with the sub? Because it looked like Dan James was due to go off, but then it looked like he was saying, "Nah, I'm okay." And I think Tyler Roberts was due to come on. Why, I don't know. But was there any reason why that was changed and then it was Forshaw for Click? I have no idea what was going on there, but it was just a weird kind of sub thing. I don't know, was the crowd, because I didn't have the volume on at the time, was the crowd making any noise when Tyler Roberts took off his vest or something? I have no idea, but it was just a weird sequence in that substitution. Very, very odd. I'm going to say this now. Listen, I've defended Rafinha before when people have said he's had bad games. Oh no, he was still in Brazil tonight, people. I'm not gonna lie to you. I cannot lie. Rafinha was still on the plane in Brazil. I don't know where he was tonight. It just was not his kind of game today. Um, right. So Sam Jerome saying so happy Tyler did not come on. Yeah. Listen, I had a reasonable face on me today. I was I was smiling through this game, even though it was when we was conceding the goal. But then when I saw Tyler Roberts with his bib, I was like, oh. And I just wonder if was that what was happening before? I don't know. Sam Jerome Raff was poor today. He was awful. cannot defend Raf today, but he's given us. He's the one with more credit in the bank than anyone. So we're just gonna have to allow him to like and credit again. Credit to the to the rest of the team for pitching in where he just didn't today because we had a fair bit of the ball. It was Rodrigo in the end that was more the creative force. So yeah, Michael, why didn't you do a watch along, Michael? I'm very self aware, Michael, and this year, as you've seen, the games haven't been good. Like the performances haven't been great, and I don't want to come on here and say stuff that I say to myself when I'm watching the games. So I'm very self-aware. I may do another one this season. I may do, but I just know with the way that the games have been overall, it's not the right time for me to do a watch along. Like I love my guy Curtis Shaw, and he's the most composed person in the world when he's not doing a watch along. And I see him on the watch along and the highlights that get clipped up, and he's like a maniac, and I don't want to go there. I'm very self-aware. So, but I will do another one at some point. I will do another one at some point, but just not at this moment in time. Uh, Triple G, no need to explain yourself, KJ. Big yourself up. No, it's a fair question, Triple G, because I know a lot of people do love the watch longs, and I did. I enjoyed the one that I did, the only one I've done so far. But unfortunately, that was the one where we lost 5-1 to Man United. So it's kind of mad still. Josh, morning, KJ. Morning, Josh, man. How you doing? Uh, yeah, Mark, and it's a true thing. It's hard for Rafinha coming back from playing for Brazil, not England in February. I would say so. I would say that's part of the reason because he did not look on it at all. Mick Brown got you live, KJ, my brother. Thank you for tuning in. Allison and Marty Adams delighted with a point. Absolutely, absolutely. A few super chats to get through. Uh, David, uh, thank you for your super chat. I guess I owe James an apology for saying he couldn't score in a ruffle last week. I will apologize happily. Listen, that's all we want, isn't it, David? You always want to be proven wrong by your players. That's all we ask for. Like I thought we was gonna lose today. I'm more than happy with the point today. No questions asked. I'm very happy to take the point, and I'm very happy I'm wrong. So I'm with you, David. Thank you for your donation. Colin with a super chat. Thank you, Colin. My man KG, spirited effort from the lads. Absolutely, Colin. Yeah, it was. You have to give them a lot of credit today. A lot of credit. Mr. P with a super chat. What's up, KG? Deserve more from our performance today. Rafinha wasn't present today at all. No, he wasn't. He wasn't. The one time that I remember Rafinha really getting into the game was maybe the 75th, 73rd minute or something like that. It was well late, like much later than it should be for a player of his ability. Um, Michael Pollard, KG, Marcelo Bielsa is still very disorganized and using his subs bench. It seemed almost disorientated. It's just weird. It's like yeah, it's just like if you've got a sub ready, then he should just come on, right? I don't understand why what the whole confusion was with Dan James. I wish I had seen the whole thing, but I was setting this thing up, so I just didn't see what was going on, and then I saw Click go off for Forshaw instead, and Roberts put him back on his vest, thankfully. So it was just weird, just weird. Harmony. Did I ever tell you how much I like Dan James, KG? Yes, see, Harmony, yes. That's what I'm saying. And listen, he's still not a striker. He's still not a striker, but listen, he did absolutely everything in his power. That's what I'm saying about Dan James. Even when he's not getting you goals, he will try and do everything press from the front. And I tell you what, he got a booking today, and I love the edge that he plays with. Dan James plays with this nasty little edge on him, where he just takes somebody out like maybe 3 seconds after the ball's gone. I rate that. I cannot lie. I love that kind of stuff because it's not playing on the edge where you're gonna get a red. It's more like a yellow card, and he knows what he's doing. So yeah, shout out to Dan James today and Harmony. Hopefully, there's more of that to come. Luke W with the super chat. Thank you, Luke. Important point. Did not want to go in versus Frank after last year. Listen, Everton got their breaks beat off them last night against Newcastle. It was ugly. So for us to get a point in here, we go into that game now with more momentum. There's always that thing though with Frank Lampard where you know he's going to get his boys up as much as he can for this. He's good no matter what because it's him versus Bielsa. So we still have to look out for that. But that Everton team hasn't shown me anything that we should be scared. And I predicted a draw this week on the debrief. I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to stick with the draw because I still think Frank Lampard's going to make them give an extra 20% that they don't usually have. But if we play like we did today, minus the absolute open spaces in central midfield, I think that we can probably get a win there. I was expecting a win at Everton before his appointment was made and the transfers they made. I was expecting a win. And I don't see why we can't go to Everton and win this weekend. I really don't. Um, Philip Anderson, I think Dan James stood up to the bad decisions. Yeah, I really wish I was tuned in, man. I shouldn't have turned my back on that bit. It's really annoying, but only we can get some kind of little drama from a substitution. Crazy, isn't it? Crazy. Um, Scott Lightning, I think it's best if Robert leaves at the end of the season. I think it probably causes problem in the dressing room knowing players should be playing before you. I absolutely agree, Scott. There is no way that players like Joe Gelhardt and others aren't going into these games thinking, how is this guy who scored, 2 goals in how many appearances keep getting ahead of me? It will cause disruption. It does. And it's something when people online are saying it, people always say that people online are toxic and everything else like that. But it's now transferred to the crowd, as Brownie said. Brownie goes to all the games and he says when Roberts is about to come on, there's a loud sigh in the crowd. So it's not just the online community that talks about Tyler Roberts now, it's transferred to the crowd. And I think it's best if he just goes, no loan business. Let's just get him sold. But listen, we've got the rest of the season to go, so there's no point talking about that at this point. But I agree with you. Luke Stokes saying fantastic managerial decision from James to not sub Roberts up. That's good. That's good, Luke. That's great. That's awesome. That's true. That is true. Um, Gordon White saying, "Hi, KG. Dan James said that he was fine and didn't need to come off." Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Ziggy Jones saying, "Win at Everton and this week, and this has been a brilliant week." I'd agree. I'd agree because after Everton, as everyone knows, we've got a really tough run of games coming up. You know, as bad as Manchester United have been, whenever we've played them, we froze. So we've got to look out for that. And then there's Liverpool, Spurs. I mean, Spurs absolutely capitulated tonight as well against Southampton. I mean, I had that game on as well. I was watching too. So yeah, we just need to get as many points on the board as possible. Scouser. Minamino would have bagged a hat trick tonight, KG. Come on, man. Dan Savage. Has anyone seen Zaha Pen? No, I haven't seen it. I've heard it was bad, but I'll see it in a bit. Tom Gatlin thought Melier looked a little dodgy tonight. Yeah, I thought so. I thought so as well. It wasn't one of his best outings. I know. I completely agree. Can't argue with that. Adam saying click shooting is so tame. I mean, the first one in the first half was a daisy cut. I mean, it was going along the grass so slow. You know, the keeper, if he had a cap on, he could have put a cap on it. It was that slow. He's just not a good shooter. It's very rare that his shots go in. But he was good. But I'll give him his due. He was much good. He was much better tracking back. That was where he was strong. And then it was Rodrigo doing more of the creative midfield stuff. So, but it's just that when you're shooting, man, you got to put some zoom in it. You got to put some pepper on that shot, you know. Um, Pellegrino giving James more props today. James was class today. What a scrappy, hard-working taffy is. He is. He just works hard, and I do believe that. That's why I'm not ready to write off Dan James when it comes to the end product. I think that it will improve over time. I really do. I don't think this is going to be a Tyler Roberts thing where you're going to be constantly frustrated with him. I think that the end product will be there. And as soon as we get a striker back, a real striker, and he can go back out to the wing, I think we're going to see even better from Dan James. I truly believe that. Bradley, apparently a drama masterclass there. Yeah, I heard that. I heard it was good from one of my guys, Jason Mohammed, who's a Cardiff fan. Michael Pollard with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. Big up KG, great channel. Always on for the post match chat, win, lose, or draw. Yeah, I'm always here. Crooked up voice or not, I'm always here, man. I'll always be here. Even after we lose 7-0 to Man City, I'm still here. Jason Laylas, we got a point. Yeah. Cannot argue. Cannot argue. Let's have a look. Brian C. So many positives from Rodrigo tonight. Yeah, and this is it with Rodrigo. Let's just say he could do this against Everton. Let's see if he can get this second game in a row like he was played today, especially in the first half. Let's see if he can do that against Everton and not go missing. Unfortunately, though, with him in midfield, it did leave the gaps open in midfield. That's just going to happen now. We've got no choice but to accept that. Lewis Bates not going to touch the grass as long as certain players are playing. So we just have to accept that it's going to be like that back and forth in quite a few of these games. But if we are that open in midfield against, say, Man United and Liverpool, we might be in a bit of trouble. We might just be in a bit more trouble than we were tonight, and we still conceded 3 goals. So it's something that we have to work on. Maybe Forshaw will come back by then. Hopefully so. Let's get some more of your comments. Mark Jones, up my favorite tuber. Thank you, Mark. Good draw against a good team. Onwards, Everton, here we come. Yeah. Yeah, Villa, they were really good. And we was going to say about Tyrone Mings, and it's funny because, I know I've mentioned it on here before, but Tyrone Mings is pretty much, I've called him, he just reminds me so much of what we have. He's the captain of the club. And in order for Villa to get to that next step, I think they need to get rid of Tyrone Mings because he's not good. He's not good. He's very strong. He can cause problems for you, but he's so sloppy and he's got and his concentration levels are so low. And it just reminds me of a certain other central defender who's a captain. I can't think of his name, but it's so similar. But in order for Villa to get that next step, I think they need to get rid of Tyrone Mings because he was kind of at fault for a couple of for a couple of our goals tonight. Yeah, D is correct. We needed a performance tonight after the Newcastle horror. Got to use it to take out Frankie this weekend. Absolutely. See, the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm thinking that we're going to get 3 points against Everton at this point. You know, I do feel that. Jack Glennie, shout out to Jack. Really feel for Jaffe. Did you see James say F off when he saw Roberts getting ready to come out? No, I didn't see that, Jack. As I say, I didn't see that bit, but it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. Stephen Underwood, thanks, KG, once again telling it like it is. Always, man, always. Just gonna go through some more of your comments while I can currently talk. It is hurting. I'm not gonna lie. Colin Kerwin, thoughts on relegation now? We should overtake Brentford and Palace by the looks of things. Yeah, that's it for me. I mean, Norwich again, they went up 1-0, and you just knew they weren't going to hold on to the lead. And they almost lost the game, didn't they? And if I'm right, I think they've drawn the game. So, yeah, for me, I just don't see it. I just think we're just going to do just enough to stay up. I do. I'm not saying it's going to be comfortable by any means. I don't think we're finishing anywhere near 11th of 12, I'll be honest with you. But I think we're going to do more than enough to keep away from these other teams. Saying that, let's have a look. Norwich 3. Let's have a look. Yeah, so the gap's 6 points. Is that right? Yeah, I just think that the bottom 3 in particular, they're just so cut off. I mean, they've got more draws than IKEA. You know, Burnley cannot win for love nor money. You know, for me, Sir Nick Pope needs to leave that gaff and go to a real big club. He deserves better. Watford are not scoring. Norwich and Norwich. I do think that we're going to be all right. And yeah, I do think we're going to jump above Brentford too. Yeah, 6 point gap, much more than it looks. Yeah. Let's have a look. Caspadinho, Rafinha was due a stinker, wasn't he? Yeah, listen, we got to give him that one today. Not even me. I cannot defend him. The defense attorney will rest tonight. We have no more evidence to give the court. Rafinha will have his sentence for today, but he'll be back against Everton. I believe in him. But that it does show you something though, because the game that Rafinha had, you could tell he was clearly not on it, but there was no one to take him off for, was there? Who are you going to take Rafinha off that would have been satisfactory? It just wouldn't have gone down well with the crowd, I don't think so. Uh, let's have a look. Tom. Yeah, listen, I'm with you. Tom saying Mings and Thomas Frank both wind me up chewing gum. I absolutely hate that whole it grinds my gears too. I suffer from misophonia, so I get your point, Tom. Uh Ali T, 6 points off 11 place. Yeah, there's context in that though, Ali. There's context. We got to see how we get on for the rest of the month. This is a tough month, but I would love to get 3 points against Everton, and let's see, and we can talk about it. It's just that after that we got Manchester United, Liverpool, and Spurs. So it's just a little. I hear you with the 6 points off 11, but we got to put some context into this. Uh, let's have a look. Story saying Bielsa has a way of playing. If you do it his way, you play. Messi probably wouldn't get on if he doesn't do what Bielsa wants. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh man, guys, I'm gonna have to cut this short. My throat is absolutely killing me, but I'm gonna try and rest up and see if I can get an Everton preview done for tomorrow or maybe Friday. I don't know. We'll see. But listen, closing points. Brilliant point against Villa. Brilliant fight from all the players involved. And we move on to the Everton game, where I think that we have more than enough chances now to get 3 points against that team. I really do. They're not in the best of shape. Let's take advantage of that. Let's take advantage of them for a change, instead of other people always taking advantage of us. But listen, people, smash a like on the video before you go, please. And if you're watching a replay, do that also. And I will see you later in the week. Let's go.